What's up, kids? It's Caleb here from the Game Glyph, and it's another episode of the Halloween Spooktacular on my channel. And in this episode, we're going to look at a few more games for a different system. We're going to be looking at games on PlayStation 1, games I like to play around Halloween time, or they start playing in October to get into the mood. Yes, to trick or treat. So here are a few games for PlayStation 1 that I like to play around this time of year. If you guys have any other games that you like to play around this time of year on PlayStation 1, let me know in the comments below. Check it out. Medieval was one of the games I remembered fondly as a kid. It has great presentation. It seems like a chip off the Nightmare Before Christmas block with its art direction. In Medieval, you play as Sir Dan, an ancient knight brought back to the land of the living to stop the forces of the undead as they attempt to take over the world and upset the balance of life. It's a quirky game with lots of humor and great voice acting. The controls take a bit to get used to, as the action is very simple but it's effective. There are lots of items and weapon variations in this game to find throughout the entire journey to help you with your quest. Medieval was a stellar game that really holds up well despite some control issues and early polygonal camera control blues. It's a perfect addition to this list with its lighthearted approach at a gothic horror aesthetic, and it's still fun to play today, and especially this time of year. Galarians is a strange and often overlooked survival horror game for the PS1. In this game, you play as a child that awakes in some crazy government research center, and you barely remember anything. Now, what makes this game so unique when compared to its peers like Silent Hill or Resident Evil is its combat, which sucks, but it is unique. After injected with experimental drugs, your character has unlocked some psychic abilities and can now open locks via electrostatic discharge and dispatch enemies via causing their heads to explode by thinking about them. It's kind of like Akira meets Resident Evil, and for the most part it works. The game is a bit slow to start, but does a good job capturing the feeling it was going for, and the deaths of those unfortunately caught in your way are certainly horrific. It's a good idea for a cyberpunk survival horror game, but would not be executed as well as it should have been until the follow-up Galarian's Ash on the PS2. The graphics have not aged well, with the pre-rendered backgrounds and polygonal characters. Controls are challenging, but it's different enough to make me interested and want to see where the story goes. Recommended for cyberpunks only. Nightmare Creatures is an awesome game that I have played on various systems, but first on PS1. In this game, you choose between two warriors and face off against Crowley's hordes of undead hellbeasts all across Britain as you attempt and fail repeatedly at catching the evil sorcerer. The controls and camera in this version are a bit iffy, and the graphics have aged with relative severity, but the fun hack and slash gameplay is more than enough to keep me playing. It's a great action game of its time and still a blast to play today, though I'd recommend the PC version due to its 3D accelerated graphics and subsequent patching. I still love the gothic beat 'em up and usually dust it off this time of year, and it never disappoints. If you can get past the clunky controls and bad camera, there's a lot of fun to be had with this game still. Silent Hill is now a game series of legend. With movies and various sequels being made, it's easy to say this is one of the most popular survival horror games of all time. In this game, you wander into the town of Silent Hill in search of your missing child and stumble across a truly horrific landscape of fire, ashes, monsters, and a shitload of fog. Lots of fog. This is not my personal favorite game in the long-running series, but it is the perfect place to start. There are multiple endings and a truly unique story here. This game is legit creepy and will surprise you with how dark it's willing to be. When I was a kid and I first played this game, not knowing what to expect, it filled me with dread and a really unsettling, lonely vibe. I preferred sequel, but this is the one that started it all, and a perfect fright fest to creep you out. There is something really special about the first Resident Evil game. Maybe it's the cheesy FMV, the bad voice acting, I'm not really sure. But either way, it's a great survival horror game, and it may be the best of its time. You pick either of the two star members, and you search through a dangerous mansion for clues onto what the heck is going on and how to stop it. When I first played this game, I had no idea it was a zombie horror game, and I was looking for something a little bit more supernatural. But that's not the story here. This game is more about the horrors of black government genetic research and the dangers of playing God. Tank controls are hard to get used to by nowadays standards, but luckily the game was re-released in a director's cut with a DualShock version, and this is the way to play the game. Trust me, you don't want to go back to those old tank controls because they really do not lend themselves for the action in this game. This is the one that started it all with Resident Evil and has a special place in my heart and memory. It was one of the first games that actually scared me. Yes, I'm talking about the dogs jumping through the windows. It was just so unexpected, and it's still a really truly fun game. This game series may have been convoluted over time and had lots of strange iterations and directions, but it's true to say that the original still kicks ass. What can I say? Castlevania Symphony of the Night is probably my favorite game of all time. It is the game that I play the most and always go back to. It's the perfect game in my opinion. The sprite-based graphics are timeless, the music is some of the best ever written for a video game, the controls are flawless and tight, and the gameplay is the apex of side-scrolling action, and it kicked off what would be my favorite subgenre of all video gaming, Metroidvania. In this game you play as Alucard, son of Dracula, and you must defeat his evil father on his own turf and put an an end to his evil for once and for all. One of my favorite things about this game is just how many items and secrets are littered throughout the castle. You find so many weapons and power-ups, you can basically customize your character to fit your mood and gameplay style at the time. A simple but satisfying level-up system keeps Alucard up to snuff against the ever-leveling hordes of monsters and demons that you face as you traverse the enormous castle. The game reeks of gothic horror. Within the first few minutes of playing as Alucard, you slay dire wolves, bats, and zombies. One day, I will do a full review of this game and give it the love on this channel it is due. But I would have to be able to put it down long enough to do so. Every time I play this game for any reason, if I'm trying to capture footage for whatever reason, I end up playing it for hours. It's just so addicting. In my opinion, Castlevania Symphony of the Night is the perfect game to play on PS1 for the Halloween season, and I suggest you get off your butt and play it right now. Enjoy and happy haunting. Thanks for watching this episode. Let me know in the comments below what you think of these games, and some others maybe that put you in the spirit of Halloween. Till next time, bye!